From the highest point of existence, a celestial mandate is sweeping down, echoing a message only your soul can fully understand. Heaven hasn't just noticed you. It has chosen this precise flicker in time to speak your name, etching it into the very tapestry of the cosmos. A monumental, unstoppable force is currently traversing the vast, silent sea of space, a cosmic messenger we call 3 Atlas. But please understand, this is far beyond a simple asteroid or a distant star, merely following a predictable orbit. This is a sacred cipher, a divine piece of intelligence woven into the fundamental structure of the universe, and its singular purpose is to ignite the breathtaking, raw power that has been quietly residing deep within you. You might be feeling a strange, unfamiliar flutter in your core right now. Dismiss the thought that it's just mere stress or nervousness. It is in fact the undeniable sign of activation. The unseen realms are vibrating with anticipation because your spirit is rising to its appointed level. The very atmosphere surrounding your existence is becoming mutable, pliable, ready for transformation, all because your unstoppable destiny is finally, visibly unfolding. The arrival of this monumental body, 3 Atlas, signifies one absolute truth. The era of the chosen ones is now fully underway. This conversation isn't meant to be a lecture in astronomy or a reading of a simple astrological chart. What we are discussing here is nothing less than prophecy in motion. When the divine architect of the universe shifts something in the heavens, it is never, ever without a profoundly significant ultimate purpose. When a light from the far reaches of space crosses into our skies, it is always a perfect mirror for a powerful, essential crossing that is happening right now within your own soul. You have felt this deep in your marrow recently, haven't you? That persistent nagging restlessness, that strange, unexplainable yet powerful pull towards an unknown horizon. There's a persistent sense that something vast, something infinitely bigger than your current life, is rapidly approaching. Please know that you are not, under any circumstance, imagining these feelings. The entirety of the spiritual realm is meticulously preparing you for an undeniable revelation. 3 Atlas is not simply a piece of space debris passing through the visible sky. It is an active, vital element within your personal timeline, perfectly aligning with the deepest parts of your purpose and destiny. It is powerfully confirming a truth your spirit has always known. Your life is on the precipice of a permanent, irreversible shift. I urge you to remain with me until the very final word of this unfolding message, because what is about to be revealed will fundamentally alter the way you perceive your entire reality and the world around you. This is a message of divine completion, and before we journey deeper into this revelation, I invite you to join this collective moment of spiritual connection. If this truth resonates with your soul, please take a second to like this video. Ensure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next stage of this unfolding, and leave a comment with 99 below. The number 99 in the language of the Spirit represents total divine fulfillment. It is a cosmic declaration that what the Creator began working on within you, the initial spark of your purpose, is now poised to be completed in absolute glory. 3 Atlas is not a freak occurrence or a simple random event in the universe. It is a specific, potent whisper from the divine written directly into the very architecture of space and time. It is a pulsating energy, a pulse from the infinite mind of God, which has traveled through light years of darkness with the singular goal of arriving at this exact, vital moment in your personal life story. Every single component within creation, from the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, moves with an ultimate, defined purpose. And this magnificent celestial body is no exception to that divine rule. It is carrying a sacred coded message, a type of heavenly encryption that only the genuinely awakened and spiritually attuned are capable of deciphering. For countless generations, the Most High has used the majestic canvas of the heavens to communicate with humanity. History records a star marking the ultimate birth of salvation, celestial alignments that clearly foretold massive, global shifts and cosmic movements that constantly signaled new, powerful eras of spiritual awakening. But now something radically different, something intimately personal, is taking place. The heavens are no longer merely speaking in distant symbols or cryptic signs. They are calling out to you by your unique personal name. They are addressing you, the individual who has valiantly walked through intense spiritual fire without being consumed by it. You, who may have felt overlooked and unseen by the world, but were never, ever forgotten by the universe. The spiritual algorithm of the higher realms has precisely pinpointed your unique energetic frequency. And because of this alignment, the entire cosmos is now actively responding to your spiritual vibration. 3 Atlas was not just a general message sent towards the Earth. It was an individualized, deliberate dispatch sent specifically for you. The unpredictable, unstoppable, and ultimately beautiful path of its celestial trajectory perfectly mirrors your own unfolding spiritual evolution. Just as its movement is often beyond the full scope of current human understanding, your journey is also defying every known limitation and boundary that has been placed upon you. When a body that did not originate within the boundaries of our solar system enters it, it dramatically breaks and redefines every known physical law. In the same way, you have successfully and powerfully defied every barrier, every doubt, and every limitation placed upon your journey and potential. The exact same powerful guiding energy that is currently steering this cosmic traveler is now powerfully surging through your own spirit, meticulously aligning every single fragmented piece of your destiny into perfect, divine order. Understand this truth deeply. You are not merely a passive, distant observer of this immense cosmic phenomenon. You are, in every literal sense, its living, breathing reflection. You are the definitive earthbound proof, the visible evidence that the higher realms of existence still actively and powerfully intervene in human affairs. Every single shift, every subtle movement in the heavens, is flawlessly echoing a corresponding, equally significant shift in your personal atmosphere and surroundings. When the great stars of the cosmos transition, so do the established timelines of humanity. And right at this very moment, your personal timeline is powerfully bending, effortlessly curving itself toward the inevitable reality of divine manifestation. The specific celestial signal carried by 3 Atlas is God's direct, unmistakable way of communicating that you have successfully reached the precise spiritual frequency where miracles no longer have to be chased. They naturally locate you. You have undergone a rigorous, necessary process of refinement and deep recalibration. You have been stripped bare of all superfluous distractions and have been profoundly purified through periods of what felt like endless delay. And now, the profound, inevitable, perfect alignment begins. The old spiritual gravity that once held you tightly bound in debilitating cycles of pain and repetition is finally and permanently losing its grip on your life. The limiting, old, self-defeating patterns you once inhabited are now visibly and dramatically collapsing under the immense, transformative weight of your full, profound awakening. The entire vast universe is actively rearranging itself, shifting its priorities, all in direct response to the powerful, magnetic force of your simple, unwavering faith. It is as though all of creation paused its unending cycle, holding its cosmic breath, patiently waiting for the singular moment when you would finally and completely awaken to the truth of who you truly are. And now that you have fully arrived at this understanding, nothing in your life can ever, by any measure, return to the way it once was. This powerful spiritual truth is the very reason why the air around you feels so powerfully and strangely charged, why your inner spirit feels a paradoxical blend of intense restlessness and profound, deep peace simultaneously. The undeniable signs that are currently unfolding in the sky are not some separate, distant phenomena disconnected from your life. They are, in fact, direct, visible extensions of your core purpose. The heavens are moving with such deliberate, immense force because you, specifically, were powerfully ordained and equipped to move in perfect synchronization in concert with them. When the magnificent Creator orchestrates an event so vast, so cosmically complex and immense, it is for one specific, ultimate reason. The chosen ones are definitively entering a groundbreaking new phase of ultimate spiritual revelation and impact. 3 Atlas is not just an object in the sky. It is your cosmic mirror. The immense light it carries across the blackness of space is the exact same, pure light you carry within the depths of your spirit. Just as 3 Atlas is currently traversing the immense, dark sea of interstellar space, you are simultaneously crossing the deepest, darkest valley of your own intense spiritual transition, guided only by an inner, radiating divine light. And just as absolutely no human force, no matter how powerful, can successfully alter the destined path of that colossal cosmic traveler, absolutely no enemy, no frustrating delay, and no dark curse can ever successfully alter yours. The same infinite, all-powerful being who meticulously set all the stars in motion has specifically marked this convergence as a celestial confirmation of your identity and your journey. The vastness of the heavens has unequivocally and publicly recognized your singular calling. The most important question now is not merely why this dramatic cosmic event is happening, but rather, what kind of person will you ultimately become once this transformative process is fully and totally complete? When the heavens publicly and dramatically release a sign of this magnitude, the intention is never merely to satisfy your idle curiosity or to give you something to intellectually analyze. Its only purpose is to profoundly activate your full, written destiny. And as the trajectory of 3 Atlas continues to draw closer to its alignment point, something deep inside the core of your being is beginning to glow with the very same intense, pure light. It is a brilliant internal illumination that no surrounding darkness can ever fully comprehend or extinguish. Remain absolutely alert, because what is about to take place will not simply confirm the foundation of your faith. It will powerfully and permanently rewrite the entire spiritual atmosphere that you exist within. To the broader analytical world, 3 Atlas is just a matter of observable science. To the higher realms, it is a magnificent unfolding prophecy. But to you specifically, it is the ultimate personal confirmation. This is because the cosmic force that is now so dramatically moving above you is already dynamically, powerfully moving within you. This is why the simplistic, ordinary, purely secular explanations for the change you feel now ring so completely hollow and utterly inadequate. This is not just abstract flowery poetry. This is the truth of spiritual engineering actively and powerfully at work in your life. A deeply hidden, intricate circuit inside the sanctuary of your spirit has been definitively reconnected to its original, immense power source. And I can assure you the current is fully live and surging. You can clearly feel its influence in the way time itself seems to behave around you, how minutes seem to stretch into profound contemplation when you stop everything to pray, yet how days seem to compress with frantic urgency when your divine purpose calls you into action. Even the frustrating delays that once felt like impenetrable, crushing walls now feel more like intentional, open doors, simply testing the strength of your grip on the handle of your purpose. This majestic celestial movement perfectly mirrors a crucial, deep internal calibration happening within you. Your relentless stream of thoughts is finally and completely shedding its decades of spiritual static and noise. Your deepest spiritual discernment is sharpening with the precision of a laser beam. Your vital inner intuition is no longer a faint, easily ignored whisper, but has transformed into a powerful, unmistakable guided pulse that directs your every move. The higher realms are not merely observing your journey from a distance. They are actively and deeply synchronizing with your every beat and every breath. The long, frustrating season of silence that you experienced was never a form of divine punishment. It was, in fact, the precise architecture of God, actively building and installing load-bearing, unshakable faith beneath the surface of your conscious life. It worked the same way that roots must deepen and intertwine for years before a mighty tree can finally, powerfully break ground and reach for the sun. Every unanswered prayer you offered was not forgotten. It was a potent seed meticulously stored in a perfectly timed vault of the future. Every single tear you shed was a liquid, spiritual signature, an authorization for a massive future release of provision and power. Every long, lonely night you endured was actually a furnace, a necessary crucible that was forging a quality of unparalleled clarity and strength that no amount of comfort or easy living could ever hope to grant you. And now, the divine vault is dramatically opening. Now the intense spiritual furnace is finally and fully cooling down, leaving behind only the pure metal of your soul. Now those deepened roots are cracking through the hardest stone. And with every single subtle shift you feel, an unexpected phone call, a profound dream that lingers with meaning after sunrise, a single scripture that suddenly glows like fire in your chest, You are literally watching your own inner universe expand into vast territories that you once believed belonged only to others, or were unreachable for you. The immense, powerful divine energy that smoothly guides enormous stars through the dark, endless oceans of space is now actively, powerfully moving your life out of the deep, comfortable ruts you mistakenly identified as your ultimate fate and identity. The feeling of stagnation that once plagued you is violently breaking apart, shattering like thin, fragile ice under the heat of a rising, powerful sun. The massive backlog of your spiritual destiny is finally being fully and immediately processed. All the old self-limiting narratives, the ones that whispered too late, too small, too broken to you, are now being meticulously edited out and erased by an invisible, powerful loving hand that you cannot physically see, but can most certainly powerfully feel. You weren't simply enduring a fruitless wait. You were perfectly aligning with an eternal, flawless timeline where the intense time of preparation is never a delay, but is always a profound, necessary part of the ultimate design. The very idea of coincidence completely dissolves and becomes utterly meaningless when undeniable divine patterns begin to visibly and repeatedly assert themselves. The same sequence of numbers persistently repeating on digital clocks, the exact right person appearing at the very second you finally muster up the courage to act. That closed door, which you now realize would have tragically caged you had it swung open. This is not luck or happenstance. This is divine synchronization operating on your behalf. Heaven is actively running the entire complex logistics of your life, tirelessly repositioning vital resources, decisively rerouting unexpected opportunities, and specifically reassigning powerful angels to new, strategic posts all around your chosen path. And you, the chosen one, are now being precisely positioned for a dramatic manifestation that won't be merely theatrical or random, but is instead absolutely, beautifully, and powerfully inevitable. Start expecting that even your smallest, most seemingly insignificant acts of micro-obedience will carry a massive, macro-level impact on your world. That message you feel a sudden, compelling urge to send, that toxic old habit you finally choose to retire forever, that room or atmosphere you choose to immediately leave before its negativity can drain your beautiful spirit. Furthermore, you must expect a holy unease when you dramatically outgrow what once fit you perfectly and felt so secure. Your destiny is radically altering the very measurements of your being. Expect your voice to finally carry unmistakable weight and authority in places where it used to simply echo and fade unheard. Divine grace has profoundly increased your specific spiritual gravity. Expect the inner courtroom to finally quiet down. The voice of accusation and self-doubt has permanently lost its license to operate in your mind. Expect the map of your life to widen dramatically. The emotional and spiritual borders that you once agreed to under the intense influence of fear are now being decisively renegotiated by the boundless power of divine love. This, my friend, is the true, deep interpretation of the sign. 3 Atlas serves as heaven's bold, immense headline, but your own powerful, beautiful transformation is the in-depth article, line after line, promise after promise, all currently being written and fulfilled in the spiritual present tense. And yet there is an even finer, more intricate layer of coded truth beneath even this headline. These are the deeper codes that only truly unlock when you act, not when you merely analyze or intellectualize. These are the potent thresholds that only open when you choose to sincerely bless, not when you merely beg or complain. These are the strategic, life-altering insights that will only appear to the individuals who boldly move forward, while the divine ink of instruction is still fresh and wet on the page of their life. So lean forward into this moment, regulate your breath, and listen deeper than the surface level of my words, because the very next signal you need is loading and preparing even right now. And when it finally arrives, it will not just be an explanation of your long, arduous journey. It will clearly expose the corridor that leads directly to your complete, glorious, and public unveiling. Chosen one, do you truly grasp the immense significance of what this all means for your future? 3 Atlas is not simply drifting aimlessly. It is meticulously tracing a sacred path that was profoundly written and destined for you even before time itself took its very first breath. Every subtle flicker of its light that you see across the heavens is a pure, direct reflection of your own journey, a cosmic, divine mirror of your specific, powerful calling. You are not a random soul merely drifting through a meaningless existence. You are, in every profound sense, following a preset divine trajectory, established by the very same magnificent hand that carefully positioned every single galaxy in the cosmos. Before your heart ever began to echo in the solitude of your mother's womb, your exact coordinates were permanently marked and embedded in the eternal spiritual map of destiny. You are not a lost wanderer. You are a purposeful traveler moving between dimensions, a carrier of sacred, powerful DNA, a genuine messenger momentarily disguised in human form. This profound truth is why the mundane, limiting gravity of the ordinary world can no longer hold you captive or contain your spirit. You simply cannot fit into the limiting old circles, the predictable old rhythms, or the stale old explanations of your past life. When the world observes you, it sees an enigma, a beautiful mystery. But when heaven looks upon you, it sees a mission. You were meticulously designed and fully equipped to operate completely outside the predictable, confining orbit of human logic and expectation. And just like the mythical Atlas, you are moving by a potent, undeniable divine propulsion. Unseen forces are actively steering your course. Unseen, powerful hands are tirelessly clearing your path of all obstacles. Unseen, brilliant light is guiding you perfectly through the void of uncertainty. Every single detour you mistakenly labeled as a failure was, in profound reality, an essential calibration. Every prolonged silence you wrongly mistook for abandonment was, in fact, an act of precision spiritual engineering. God was meticulously tuning your powerful spirit to resonate at his perfect, sublime frequency, carefully adjusting your internal timing so that your inevitable public emergence would flawlessly and perfectly collide with the grand, unfolding plan of the higher realms. The frustrating delays you endured were never outright denials. They were vital, necessary alignment drills. You were being profoundly trained to move and act, not based on what you could physically see, but based on a deep, unshakable, gravitational faith. And now, as this majestic celestial traveler decisively crosses the heavens, something fundamental within the core of your being is being powerfully released. It is authority, a crystal-clear clarity, and an unshakable purpose that no earthly power can touch. The dormant, unused chambers of your spirit are rapidly unlocking, one after the other, and pure, radiant light is powerfully spilling out of them like vibrant, living rivers of fire. What used to utterly confuse you now serves as powerful, undeniable confirmation. You now fully understand why certain specific doors never opened for you, why certain people inevitably faded from your life, and why periods of isolation felt so endless and difficult. This was never a punishment. It was a holy quarantine, a sacred protection for the purity and power of what was secretly and profoundly growing inside of you. Your unique and immense assignment simply could not afford to be contaminated by distraction or diluted by the need for superficial human approval. You carry something of such immense value that heaven itself refused to risk its loss. This is precisely why the resistance against you felt so relentlessly intense, because the power that is now within you profoundly threatens every limiting system and structure built upon false light and superficiality. You were not created to simply orbit the predictable. You were born to alter the gravitational field itself. When 3 Atlas decisively enters our system, its immense path dynamically bends everything around its trajectory. In the same powerful, undeniable way, when you fully step into your true, anointed calling, the very fabric of reality itself will fundamentally bend to perfectly accommodate the immense weight and power of your divine anointing. This is the profound reason why your very presence powerfully disturbs atmospheres. It is why people feel an inexplicable deep shift whenever you walk into a room. They cannot logically understand it, but their spirits immediately recognize your divine velocity and spiritual momentum. You have become a living anomaly, a genuine, powerful miracle in continuous motion. Just as 3 Atlas carries ancient, cosmic mysteries across the stars, you are carrying eternal, divine blueprints deep inside the sanctuary of your soul. The universe doesn't just passively witness your inevitable ascent. It actively and immediately responds to it. You are no longer merely under observation by a distant God. You are fully and constantly under orchestration by the Creator. Every single step you take, every soft whisper you speak, and every beat of your heart is being perfectly synchronized with something far, far greater than your current human mind can fully perceive. And now, as the heavens and the entire cosmos perfectly align, your personal path is powerfully glowing with a sense of sacred, certain inevitability. The magnificent prophecy that was written over the entirety of your life is now beginning its rapid, tangible unfoldment, line by line, powerful moment by powerful moment. But listen with your deepest spiritual ear, because what happens when your orbit finally locks fully into this perfect divine motion will shake everything you hold familiar and comfortable. What is about to dramatically emerge through you will not just fulfill an existing prophecy, it will powerfully redefine it for a new generation. If you have recently been experiencing a sudden, overwhelming peace that makes no logical, earthly sense given your circumstances, if your emotions have been running deeper and more profound than ever before, or if your vivid dreams have begun speaking louder and clearer than all the external voices around you, it is all because the higher realms have definitively entered your personal atmosphere. 3 Atlas did not simply pass through the visible sky. It passed through the invisible, foundational layers of your very existence. You are currently being carefully and precisely tuned to a higher frequency, a vibrational pitch that cannot be fully grasped by the limitations of the human mind, but can only be immediately recognized and accepted by the fully awakened spirit. The powerful, specific vibration surrounding this immense cosmic movement is now actively awakening sleeping codes deep inside your being. This is the ancient spiritual DNA of your destiny that has been patiently waiting for this exact, specific signal to activate. You are now being urgently and clearly called higher. That feeling of restlessness and creative unease you've been grappling with lately, the profound, deep urge to withdraw entirely from all external noise and distraction, the sudden intense craving for absolute silence and solitude, these are not mere coincidences or signs of stress. They are clear, undeniable symptoms of elevation. The vastness of the universe is intensely recalibrating itself around your powerful, new spiritual frequency. Because of this, the familiar, ordinary world can no longer accurately interpret or contain your surging energy. What once felt comfortably safe now feels intensely heavy and limiting. What once thoroughly entertained you now feels utterly meaningless and superficial. This is not you changing randomly or without purpose. This is eternity calling you by your unique name. Heaven is communicating with you in ways that simple human language simply cannot capture or convey. That is exactly why you have been hearing and understanding far more in the profound quiet than you ever could in a distracting crowd. It's why your spiritual senses are remarkably sharper than they've ever been. It's why the very concept of time seems to feel strange and mutable lately. You are now decisively entering a corridor between worlds, a thin place where what you feel and perceive with your spirit precedes what you can physically see with your eyes. When the higher realms move, time itself bends and stretches. The entire sequence of events that once meticulously obeyed the strict limiting rules of human logic now completely rearranges itself in perfect favor of divine purpose. Frustrating, lengthy delays suddenly and dramatically collapse into immediate, rapid acceleration. Doors that once felt rusted and permanently shut swing wide open with absolute ease, as if they had been patiently waiting for your specific, determined hand all along. You are now resonating in perfect harmony with the powerful heartbeat of heaven, and every single beat of that rhythm carries clear, actionable instruction for your next move. The rhythm and flow of your life are no longer being controlled by arbitrary human calendars or predictable clocks. Your life is being profoundly guided by divine, flawless timing. This is exactly why amazing opportunities are appearing in sudden, unexpected bursts. It's why certain key people are being precisely repositioned all around your sphere of influence. It's why the entire spiritual atmosphere surrounding your life feels intensely charged, alive, and yet beautifully unpredictable. The great shift has already begun in full force, not in the distant sky above you, but deep within the quiet, sacred sanctuary of your very own soul. Every hidden thought you've harbored, every buried, unresolved emotion, every memory that has yet to be fully healed, all of it is being powerfully lifted into the light for full and complete transformation. God is not doing any of this to try and scare you or induce anxiety. He is doing it to powerfully, fully awaken you to the truth of your nature. You are currently stepping into the thin place, the glorious intersection where heaven and earth passionately meet, where the immense power of eternity easily leaks into the flow of time, and where miracles begin the profound work of rewriting the entire reality around you. The strange, compelling impulses you feel, the urge to move, to boldly create, to spiritually separate yourself, to fully surrender control, these are not signs of confusion or indecision. They are clear, potent, divine prompts. Your spirit is being rigorously trained to respond instantly and without hesitation, because what is rapidly coming next will demand your quick, immediate, and flawless obedience. The limiting old patterns are finally and permanently breaking. Cycles of profound doubt, stubborn habits of fear, and the toxic emotional loops that kept you endlessly circling deserts that were never meant to be your final destination, all of it is shattering. New, open doors are appearing in the most unlikely and unexpected places. You are seeing new opportunities being powerfully born out of the deepest silence. Provision and resources are being miraculously hidden inside of loss. Your massive, ultimate destiny is cunningly and beautifully disguised as frustrating delay. You are witnessing with your own spiritual eyes the very architecture of heaven expanding dramatically inside your total being. The more fully and fearlessly you align your will, the clearer and more undeniable this profound truth becomes. This was never, ever just about a distant comet or a celestial object. It was always only about your ultimate glorious awakening. And as this divine energy continues to rise and swell within you, you will start to notice something truly extraordinary and completely new. The world around you won't just look fundamentally different to your eyes. It will begin to actively and immediately respond differently to your presence. The very air you breathe will carry powerful, unspoken messages for you. The timing of every encounter and meeting will feel perfectly orchestrated and guided. The established boundaries between your thought and its ultimate tangible manifestation will begin to thin and dissipate until they nearly vanish entirely. This is not wild imagination or wishful thinking. This is your powerful spiritual ascension. The divine current of the universe is rapidly accelerating, and you are being fully invited to jump on and ride it without any resistance or hesitation. Therefore, don't waste your precious energy trying to analyze the storm and the chaos outside. Instead, simply listen to the profound stillness inside of it. The massive shift you feel and anticipate isn't just coming in the future. It is powerfully and fully here right now, and the absolute next wave of revelation, the next layer of truth, is already visibly forming on the distant horizon, patiently waiting for the precise ultimate moment when your faith expands enough to finally meet it with confidence. This current cosmic event is not a dire warning of potential destruction or loss. It is instead a powerful, absolute declaration of divine fulfillment. 3 Atlas does not herald chaos or confusion, definitively proclaims completion. What you are currently witnessing is not the end of anything important, but the magnificent, full unveiling of what heaven has been tirelessly and meticulously preparing for you in absolute silence and secrecy. This specific celestial sign is God's encrypted, loving way of powerfully saying, "The time has finally come." The waiting room of destiny is permanently closing. The difficult season of obscurity is fully over. You have been carefully hidden, not because you were forgotten, but so you could be profoundly refined, sculpted in silence, strategically protected from any premature exposure, and intensely strengthened in the deepest shadows. And now, the very same stars that once silently watched your tears fall are now bearing witness to your triumphant, powerful awakening. Heaven is no longer whispering about your potential. It is boldly, publicly announcing you to the world. The entire universe is actively, visibly recalibrating its very structure around your predicted next move. Every frustrating delay, every painful detour, every past heartbreak now folds itself perfectly into the flawless, immense pattern of divine timing. What looked and felt like total stillness was, in fact, perfect synchronization. What felt like painful rejection was, in the realm of the spirit, deep reverence, heaven holding its breath in anticipation of your magnificent revelation. God was not ignorantly overlooking you or neglecting your prayers. He was meticulously staging your grand introduction to the world and to your purpose. 3 Atlas is carrying a message not to the general world population, but specifically and personally to you, the one who walks confidently between light and time. It definitively declares that the divine cycle of preparation is finally and permanently closing. It proclaims that what began in profound pain and difficulty will unequivocally end in undeniable power and visible triumph. It is heaven's powerful final way of saying, you are completely ready now. You have successfully crossed the invisible, critical line between necessary preparation and active, powerful manifestation. You have bravely endured the painful pruning, the refining, purifying fire, and the intentional silence that stripped your human ego and intensely purified your deepest intentions. You no longer desperately crave the fleeting validation of others. You now crave only the pure, absolute truth. You no longer frantically chase outcomes. You now passionately chase only perfect alignment. And that is the exact final signal heaven was patiently waiting for. Because the chosen are never fully and publicly revealed until their core motive perfectly matches their massive divine mission. This singular moment, marked by the clear, powerful presence of 3 Atlas, is the cosmic unveiling of your full readiness. The electric, sacred energy you are feeling now, that intense spiritual tension, that electric, heightened awareness, this is the actual spiritual sound of massive doors unlocking across multiple dimensions and realms. You are fully stepping into a vital corridor where everything that truly belongs to you begins the rapid journey of finding you. You no longer have to frantically chase what was firmly written into the pages of your destiny. It now effortlessly and powerfully recognizes your specific, unique frequency, what you sincerely prayed for in the deepest, most secret part of your heart is now poised to boldly and publicly call your name for all to hear. The same way the entire universe gracefully bends around the immense trajectory of a comet, everything in your immediate and extended reality is now bending and perfectly aligning toward your absolute fulfillment. Expect sudden, undeniable clarity. Expect long-awaited critical alignments to fall into place. Expect dramatic, divine reversals that will make no logical sense whatsoever to the linear human mind, but will feel like absolute perfect sense to the deepest part of your spirit. The core message of 3 Atlas is completely clear and unambiguous. Heaven has finished building your absolute foundation. Now it is definitively time for your full, powerful elevation. This is the precise moment where what was previously unseen and hidden becomes undeniably visible and tangible. Your powerful presence will carry immense weight in rooms that once completely ignored your existence. Your voice will profoundly open hearts and minds even before you finish a single sentence. The divine power that resides deeply within you is no longer dormant or sleeping. It is fully active, fully alive, and recognized across all spiritual and physical realms. The forces and systems that once intensely resisted your advancement are now actively repositioning themselves to fully serve your purpose. The very same past pain that once weakened and deterred you now powerfully fuels your spiritual discernment and clarity. You have become a magnificent weapon of pure light, not to destroy or inflict harm, but to profoundly and brightly illuminate the truth of the world. And yet, beneath all of this magnificent triumph and power, there remains one final, deeper truth hidden within this essential message. You were never just being prepared for simple blessing or earthly gain. You were being prepared for profound, weighty responsibility. Heaven is now lovingly entrusting you with both immense visibility and significant, far-reaching influence. With every new, powerful revelation comes the spiritual duty of stewardship. This is exactly why your path felt heavier, longer, and undoubtedly harder than others. God absolutely could not rush this profound process, because he was meticulously building someone who possessed the spiritual fortitude,